I guess the very beginning was my dad as a worship leader, and he gave me a guitar when I turned 13. He said, hey, you can have this guitar. It was one of his. He's like, you can have this guitar if you learn how to play it. And we had moved from Orange County, California, down to San Diego, California. So I was like left with no friends. I'm gonna go to new school, new church, and all that. So I really had nothing to do. So I was thankful to do anything. So I started playing guitar, and within just a few days, I fell in love with it and spent hours and hours and hours playing. And the way I learned, my dad, he taught me 2 chords, E and A, first off, and he's like, hey, here's like he gave me like 7 chord charts to worship songs. He's like, you can play all these worship songs with E and A. I'm like, yes. And then I got E and A. I could go between them, and then he taught me how to play a B. And then he's like, here's like 40 worship songs you can play with E, A, and B. You know? And then so I just learned little by little. But I was a really shy young dude. I was like, just give me a Narnia book in a corner and I'm good, you know? And I had a really great youth pastors growing up that gave me a chance to get on stage and actually serve. And I remember a couple months into being pushed, literally. Like, I remember when he literally picked me up and put me on stage. Like, everybody welcome Phil, he's gonna lead, you know? I remember about 2 months into that. And I remember 2 months into that, singing that old song. Do you remember, I could sing of your love forever? I was singing that, and it's the same kind of 4 chords over and over. And I was just like singing it out to Jesus because as I was learning guitar and learning these worship songs, like, my heart towards the Lord was shifting from like this, like we go to church, that's what we do, it's our culture, that's our Sunday thing, to like I really started having a real relationship with God and loving singing to Him and experiencing His presence, just me and guitar in my bedroom. And so my worship kind of started changing too, from like, these are the songs we sing in church, to like prayers and songs of thanks, and really sing, I Could Sing Your Love Forever. And then I remember kind of becoming aware of the room, and I looked up, because I was just kind of in it, and it was maybe 30 junior high kids. But about half of them, which was way more than ever before, were like literally all engaged and standing up and singing, and I could hear them, and I was just thinking it. And I wouldn't even know the language at the time, but it was like the presence of God was doing something really special. And really, our youth group kind of shifted from that moment on. It's like more people started learning how to play guitar, and we started writing songs for our youth group. And then I remember when I was 14, I wrote a song called "Jesus, Lord of Heaven" that I showed my dad. He's like, "Wow, Phil, you've been writing some good songs, but I think we could do this one in big church, so we called it City Church." My dad was a worship leader there. And so we started I started writing more and more songs for the youth group that our church started singing. And then just like through being a part of like summer camps and playing at like college campuses and Christian clubs on public schools, just had these different opportunities to lead. These songs are like little by little bleeding over into other communities. And so then when I turned 18, I had these kind of songs floating around, but never even thought of having a career still. It's just like, seemed too good to be true. I'm going to go to college and get a real job, like I'm never going to actually be able to play worship for a living. That was my mindset, And then someone came along and asked why I didn't have a CD out yet to my dad. And my dad's like, well, they're really expensive, especially back then. It was before like, all you need, now you need just $200 Logic and a mic, and you could like make an awesome sounding record, But back then you need some money to do it, go in a studio. And so my dad said, well, it'll probably cost like 40 grand all in to get it done right. And we don't have that kind of money. Again, my dad was in ministry. And that family wrote a check for $40,000 and gave it to us and said, well, we feel like Phil needs to start doing music. And we're like, okay, I guess that's